guy, he gives you pretty crap screen, so you're not really open. But one thing you can do maybe is as soon as you catch that ball, uh, you're like sitting in the chair, you want to be off balance, you want to pivot to the middle of the floor, which he does a really nice job taking away. It's good defense. But one thing you could do, you could reverse pivot, so keep your, I think, right foot, whatever this inside foot is on the ground, and swing the foot through the other way. That'll help create space. You see how hugged tight he is here. See how hugged tight he is here. I mean, maybe it's at this point with how much he's denying you middle. Maybe you're pivoting off this foot and you're swinging this foot through, but you're reverse pivoting, and that way you might be driving right into the gap, but at least you're not letting him pressure you. But again, I don't know the play. Maybe the play is you get it and kick it right there. So who knows? Here, when that screen roll is coming to be set, I know you're here for this cross pass, but well, let's go back a bit. So you swing it. The thing you want to do, as soon as you know that this guy's coming up to set, you want to make sure you're at the wing. So free throw line extended. That'll bump this guy down. That'll drag this defender over more. So you want to make sure you're getting even with the free throw line extended when you're playing spread pick and roll, because that way he's got one gap, two gap, three gaps to drive through, which is really, what you live for. Right now, he's really only got one gap to the point and one gap to the slot because you're sitting there. So I know you're here for the pass, but as soon as you see that being set, sprint down here, tell your teammate to bump down there, because it's going to open up more. Just this guy scooting over that much more, makes all the difference. And when you do relocate here, you can be sprinting there right away. If you had already started to move, you might have got a kick ahead pass or over the top pass or something. You see how much he's hedging over because you could be spaced here. Just remember, when somebody dribbles at you, it's like pushing you. When somebody dribbles away, it's pulling you to that space they vacated. You do a good job crashing the rebound here, just an unlucky bounce, really. Good physicality. If you had just maybe, you make this first hit, see you make this first hit, if you swing that left foot in front, you get a seal right there, rather than, I know he's pushing you, it's easier said than done, but if you get a seal right off that first hit, maybe you got a better chance of getting that rebound. So you crashed way to the boards, where generally long shot, long rebound. Not that this is a particularly long one, but if you're just sealed right here, you got more space to step forward and get it. Okay, bro, here you're on the ball. Want you to watch your feet. Remember, we always talk about slide the leading leg first, and watch. So that if you were doing good technique, that'd be sliding the right foot first to cut him off. See how you don't slide your feet, you immediately turn. Yeah, he's got momentum, whatever. But if you just sort of push and stepped, like led with your right foot, pushed really hard off your left foot, it's just better technique on your slide. So now you're even with him on the hip. It could help. But just sliding that leading leg can maybe help containing the first part of that drive, not so he doesn't get even with you. I don't know the play, but here, the angle he's setting that screen, you set him up with a V cut, you could almost curl and get a face cut off of that screen. That's going to force him to fight over. Force I got to help. It's going to get this guy even more open. Hell, you'll probably be open. But yeah, again, fight for the face cut there. Set him up with a V cut, and then fight for the face cut. This screen, this guy went a bit early, but you want to jump stop, 2-foot jump stop on the screens. All in all, it's not a bad screen. You still get a lot of contact, get a lot of friction. Maybe could have been more patient for him to come down and get you. I don't know what your teammates are like as screeners, but a bit of patience running these sets and getting hard screens can really help. So by waiting for it to come and be set, it can help make the screen harder, stronger. And then here you're getting this little rub screen. I think this happened last time. There's a guy in the post who wasn't looking to pass, but if I was you, as soon as I'm coming off of this, I'm being really vocal. I've got my 2 hungry hands. I'm showing all 10 fingers, and I'm screaming this guy's name, because that's going to take these 2 guys to look at you for even half a second. So coming off of this, you should be, even though you see him doing all that, he's in his own world, right? Look, about 1, 2, 3, 4 eyes on him. One of these guys rips in and helps, but if you never know, just by you coming with hungry hands around this, ball, 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 or calling that guy's name, that's going to take some of these help defenders' attention away, and he might get his attention, and he might pass it to you, because you will be open here if you if he was looking to pass. Right here, I'd be using a crossover dribble. Look, he's got his back turned. I'll be crossing him over and going back to the middle. You got these guys beat, or what I would do, this guy's open. He's probably being lazy, but I would throw that pass from about right here, and then I would run and I would get that shit back, and you got an easy bucket, or you got a 3-on-2. So rather than dribble across half court, kick ahead, because what happens is this guy's trailing. You use a little snatch, drag, dribble, but then they trap you. So to avoid that trap, first thing, easiest thing, kick ahead. Or right here, he's got his back turned. Go flip his hips, cross over. Make him have to flip his hips. Go back to the middle. Keep the ball away from the sideline. Prevent the trap. It's not a bad job getting out of it, though. Okay, so here you're stunting in the gap. That's good. You're going off the left foot. That's the inside foot. You've hopped over into the driving lane. You could maybe even take a step up. Once you see him pick the ball up, though, you want to, when you stunt into this gap, you want to basically throw your weight left, put all your weight on your left foot. As soon as you see him pick up the ball, you want to push and explode off that left foot towards the sideline. So you can as soon as you see this, you can already be moving. Watch, there's like 1 second that you wait, and it's just that 1 second slow. And then, of course, he lifts up. Maybe you can anticipate that lift out of the corner. All in all, it's not a bad closeout, though. Again, we see the flip of the hips. Obviously, if you chop your feet and close out and then throw your left leg out, you're sliding instead of running, turning the hips. But that's hard to do off a closeout, especially when he's going back up the floor. Good help defense. You still got a good pressure. Okay, here again, I just sent you the run, glide, run. This is where that will help again. So it looks like you're caught flat-footed. You turn your hips. Ideally, you'd be already up on him, not be flat-footed waiting for him, and you'd be able to slide. So lead with the left leg sliding first and push off the right leg. But, I mean, he does a good job cutting you off, but you want to be running not to him, you want to be running to the space. He's probably easier said than done, he's fast, whatever. It's a nice bucket right here. Heavy, keep the dribble going left. Up and under, step through, nice finish. I guess y'all are in a zone now. Hop into the gap, see both. Good job finding this guy, boxing him out. He does a little stutter step, but you hook him. Ready to push. Okay, you're back in that zone. You're up at the top. Something you can do, you get this little tag here, but especially if you're not getting very many minutes, what you can do to, I don't know, show your coach more effort but also it's just a good habit to be in. This guy running here, you should take a step up and you should put an arm bar into him so that every time he's coming through that zone, he's fucking thinking about it. Like, it doesn't make that much of a difference the first time. The first time you might catch him off guard and he might go, what's that all about? But over the course of a 40-minute game, every time he's getting that arm bar to the shoulder and he's having to, run through the arm bar with his sternum, he's going to be tired of that. So try to get in that habit. Every time somebody comes through, you're just giving him a high arm bar, shoulder, chest, sternum height. Obviously not extending, but you're just giving him a bit of friction and you're making him tired, and he's just second guessing going through that lane. He might not cut there, he might just cut over there, take a wider angle. So it's all about those habits, and it is extra effort for you, but if you're not getting many minutes, just be that extra bit physical. Okay, here let's look at your footwork. You got to remember the fundamentals. But look here, you didn't chop your feet at all. Maybe you're taking away baseline, that might be what you're taught to do, but look, you're hopping to the ball as opposed to chopping your feet on the closeout. So here you should be chop, and you hop, see? And that hop takes away baseline, forces into the help, which is probably what you wanted. So not all in all bad, but again, it's about habits. So that habit of just chop, 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 chop on your feet, you can still chop, chop, chop to there and get them to force that way. But by hopping, you've momentarily stopped all your momentum. Although, I mean, he dribbles off his foot, maybe it's good defense. Again, I don't know how you're coached. Are you taking away baseline or what? Yep, I'd be stepping up there, get a seal. I'd be talking to him, hey, one's coming. It's a good seal. Good defense, good stop. All right, so here you're running down the floor. Nobody's on you. I would either be committing right now and going full speed to get that O board, or I'd be hanging back. You sort of get caught in two minds. So if I was going to go get that O board, I'd be full beaming in right then and there, going to get it. Here you see you're going to get it, and look, both these guys going that way, your momentum going that way. I think we talked last time about getting ahead of the play more in transition on offense, but I think you can do that on defense here. See, you're backpedaling back, those first two steps backpedal. You need to be sprinting. They've already kicked ahead. They got one on the ball. You need to be sprinting your ass off and getting right here to the nail and picking up this guy. So don't be waiting. Don't be stopping there in that gap. You need to get all the way back here. There's nobody here who's you can. Once you get here, you stop that skip pass, then you play defense up the floor. But you got to sink to the level of the ball in transition. So you really got to sprint. You don't want to be backpedaling anywhere, especially transition defense. I heard Calvin Sampson, whatever, the U of H coach, who was saying this, like, the only time you slide is when you're on the ball. So if you're not on the ball, you're sprinting. If you're off the ball, you're sprinting. That was like the first thing he said on this training video I watched. But that's good advice. But again, sink the level of the ball, be ahead of the play, and then you play defense up the floor from there. Because right now that's open, nobody's paying attention to that guy. That is what I'm talking about. You need to bump this guy. Yeah, it's not fun, whatever, but he's thinking about bumping you now. He's not thinking about playing basketball. So if you had sprinted back and you had picked him up, you wouldn't be this long closeout, right? Because you'd be here, you'd be turning and facing with both your pistols, and you wouldn't need to have such a long closeout. Let's see what the feet did. Again, not really any foot chop, just a 1-2 stride step into it. I'll be looking to use more foot chop, go back to the basics. Old mate's got to sit on that pass better.